Some voices do not simply narrate stories. They become part of the landscape of cinema itself. Sam Elliott's voice is one of them. Deep, steady, unhurried, carrying the weight of decades without ever sounding tired of it. Across more than 50 years of American film, he became the embodiment of the quiet Western archetype, the man who could turn silence into meaning and stillness into presence. Yet his journey was never an easy ascent into fame. It was slow, uncertain, and often lonely, shaped by rejection, persistence, and a lifelong need to be seen for exactly who he was. A childhood built on silence and distance. Sam Elliott was born in Sacramento in 1944 into a home that looked stable from the outside, but carried emotional distance within. His father was disciplined, practical, and reserved, a man of structure rather than sentiment. His mother offered warmth and quiet steadiness, balancing the emotional weight of the household. But between father and son, something essential was missing. Recognition. Approval was rare, and affection was unspoken. That absence became a defining force in Sam's life, shaping a boy who learned early that being understood would not come easily, even from those closest to him. Portland years and the search for identity. When the family moved to Portland, Oregon, Sam entered adolescence in a city shaped by rain, silence, and restraint. He grew tall and awkward, carrying a presence he had not yet grown into. School offered little recognition, and he never stood out as exceptional in traditional ways. Instead, he found refuge in nature, the open trails, the quiet forests, and the freedom of spaces that ask nothing of him. In those landscapes, he began to feel something rare, a sense of belonging without judgment. Slowly, an identity began forming away from expectation. The first break from expectation. At the University of Oregon, Sam confronted the first real divide between who he was becoming and who his father expected him to be. He had discovered acting not as a distraction, but as a calling that felt undeniable. Films and westerns had shown him a form of storytelling that felt honest and human. But when he expressed his desire to pursue it, his father responded with skepticism and disapproval. Practical work was valued. Artistic uncertainty was not. The tension was not loud, but it was final in its certainty. Still, Sam could not let the dream go. Los Angeles, and years of almost moving to Los Angeles, in the mid-1960s, Sam Elliott entered an industry that did not know what to do with him. He was too intense for light roles, too quiet for commercial archetypes, and too unfamiliar to be an immediate fit. He worked wherever he could, small roles, background appearances, commercials, and survival jobs. Rejection became routine. For nearly 2 decades, success remained just out of reach. Yet he never left. Each small role, each audition, each near miss became part of a slow accumulation that was shaping him more than fame ever could. Recognition arrives in silence. When recognition finally came, it did not arrive with spectacle but with inevitability. Sam Elliott had already become the kind of actor Hollywood had always needed, without fully realizing it. His roles in westerns and character dramas revealed a presence that felt lived in rather than performed. Audiences began to recognize something consistent in him, authenticity that could not be manufactured. He had not changed. Hollywood had finally adjusted its focus. After decades of waiting, he was no longer trying to become someone. He had already become himself, and the industry had caught up. A star is born, and the peak of late recognition. In 2018, his role in A Star is Born marked a turning point. As Bobby Maine, he delivered a performance defined by restraint, emotional weight, and unspoken grief. It was not loud or theatrical, but deeply human, revealing the full depth of his craft. Critics and audiences alike responded with renewed attention, calling it one of the finest performances of his career. Awards followed, along with long overdue recognition. For many, it felt like discovery. For Elliott, it was simply another role. One more moment in a lifetime of steady, unshowy work. The controversy and public reckoning. In 2022, Elliott faced a different kind of attention. His comments during an interview about a contemporary Western film sparked widespread backlash. What he intended as critique was received as dismissive and culturally insensitive, igniting debate across the industry. The reaction was swift and unforgiving, placing him under intense scrutiny for the first time in years. Unlike many public figures, he did not retreat into silence or deflection. Instead, he acknowledged the impact of his words directly. The moment became a reminder that even long-respected voices are not exempt from accountability, apology, reflection, and continuity. Elliott's response to the controversy was straightforward and unembellished. He issued a direct apology without elaborate justification or attempt to reshape meaning. It was a rare moment of public humility in an industry often defined by carefully managed image control. What followed was not disappearance, but continuity. He continued working, continued appearing in projects, and continued moving forward with the same steadiness that had defined his entire career. The incident became part of his story, but not its defining chapter. He remained, as always, grounded in work rather than reaction. A life defined by presence and partnership. Beyond the screen, Sam Elliott's life has been marked by remarkable stability. His long marriage has endured the pressures of Hollywood, built on consistency rather than spectacle. He is a father, a partner, and a man who has maintained a sense of private life, despite public recognition. Those who know him often describe not performance, but presence, the ability to simply be fully where he is. This quality, more than fame or awards, defines him most clearly. It is the foundation behind every role, every silence, and every word he delivers on screen. Outro. What remains? After the waiting, Sam Elliott's story is not one of sudden transformation, but of endurance shaped into identity. He was not built by rapid success, but by years of uncertainty that refined rather than diminished him. What remains is a career marked by patience, a voice that became iconic without effort to force it, and a life lived without abandoning authenticity for approval. His journey suggests that recognition is not always immediate, and meaning is not always visible while it is forming. Sometimes becoming who you are takes longer than expected, but it still arrives exactly when it should.